So let's say this is your corset now. You fix the cup, right? Now to do the yoke. Now you know that from your shoulder to, let's say this part now is your chest line, then this your bust point and your under bust, right? So now you place your tape like this. You first of all get your under bust. Make sure your tape is sitting on your under bust, the correct measurement of your under bust, then your half length, right? Now you know that your bust point is 11, is correct. Your over bust is 7.5, is correct, right? So your over bust is 7.5, your bust point is 11, your under bust is 14, the length of your top is 20. So this measurement is correct. So you need your yoke needs to be 7.5. That's the length of your yoke needs to be 7.5, because that's what you want to add back. Do you understand? So if it's a normal simple corset now, you know that it's just like this. But because we want to add a yoke, and that yoke is going to comprise of our shoulder area, right? So now when you place your tape, make sure that your tape is sitting on the correct measurement. If the under bust of your client is 14 inches, is 16 inches, for example, make sure that the tape 16 inches is sitting on the under bust, right? And make sure that the measurement of your top is correct, so that you get the correct measurement of how many inches you need to add back. Okay, so for this tutorial now, the under bust is 14, the bust point is 11, the over bust is 7.5. So what is remaining here is 7.5. That's what I'm going to add back to complete this thing. Do you understand? So what we're going to add back here is going to be 7.5. And then from the tutorial, from the picture, right, the yoke is not starting directly from the bust point. No, it's moved like from this, is starting from where the bust point is. Do you get, to where the armhole is? Do you get what I'm trying to say? From where the bust point is to where the armhole is. This is the front and the back. So let me tear this out for you to understand. So you see what I'm saying? So now the yoke is starting from somewhere here. So let's use this marking, this our dart marking, to mark where our yoke is going to start from. So just draw a straight line like this. See what I'm doing? Draw a straight line and just place a mark here. This is where our dart leg is. Place a mark here, right? Now you get your paper. Now your paper is going to be 7.5 inches long, because that's what we're going to use to attach it, right? 7.5. This is 7.5. You mark it. Can you see? So now we already have our 7.5 inches long. Now to get the shape that we need for this thing, right? You first of all place it. It's going like this. Okay, it's facing like this, right? So see the mistake that I make. You see that this part now, this part is longer. You see that the pattern paper didn't cover for this part. That's our armhole area now. So see what you're going to do. When you get, let's first of all cut for this part. The shape of this part is like this. Can you see? So you just place your pattern paper, slant it. I see what I'm doing. The pattern paper is still under, since we're starting our shaping from here, right? Now from here you measure 7.5. You mark it. This is slant. Remember, this is slant. Then that same 7.5, you measure it. Now this part is going to be longer because your armhole is what? You measure from your armhole. Now this is your armhole, so imagine you're working with armhole 9 inches, right? You mark, so you draw a straight line. So now you draw a straight line. This for your armhole curve, then you connect it. Can you see the shape? You see that this part is slant, this part is slant, while this part is straight. So let's cut out. Now we're going to cut 2 pieces of this. So you get another pattern paper, you place this on top of it like so. Now we've gotten our 2 pieces. So when you place it, when you open it up, this part is like this. Like this. Can you see how slant it is? This part is like this. You don't need to use your this thing to, no, just notch it. So when you place both of them, can you see how the neckline is? Now it's when you've joined this part to this part, right? That's when you now shape your armhole curve. You get, so this is for the front. Do you understand? You see how slant is looking? If you want it closer, if you want it to spread more, you just shift it a little wider. Do you understand? I'm going to still show you. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this and show you how it's going to be. So now I've cut 2 pieces of this, right? I'm going to place them. Remember, I said that I'm starting from here. That's where that leg is. That's how open I want the neckline to be, right? You can decide to start yours, go further inside. Depends on your preference. Okay, you can decide to make yours more wider. Do you get? So now, very simple. All you need to do is, when you fixed your bra cup, right? Now, before you add your lining, that's when you place this. So place it like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Pin it down, then you sew straight down. This is like this. So you're going to sew like this. You're going to sew like this, right round. So you're going to sew this first before putting your lining. Okay, so let me sew it and then come back. Now can you see the neckline? Can you see how it's looking? You see, I put excess. So now you trim out the excess. Can you see? It doesn't have bulge here. When you measure it, 7.5. Measure your armhole. 9. So this is for the back. Now let's do for the front. Now let's do for the back. Now this is your back. If you look at the back has like a semicircle. Then the other part, then it has a button on top. So it's very simple. You get your paper. So you get your paper, right? Then you place it below your fabric like so. Now you measure 7.5 inches. Remember, it's 7.5 inches. Well, we worked for the yoke of the front, so it will be the same thing for the back. All right. So you draw a straight line. Can you see? Draw a straight line. Then now this back is going to be very simple. If you look at the tutorial, the picture, right? The back part has like a curve, right, on the back area. So you are going to go up by 4 inches. Now this curve is dependent on how wide you want the opening of your back to be. All right. So you go up by 4 inches or 5 inches, and then you mark. Right on that line, you create your semicircle with your curved ruler. Okay. Now you can determine how you want your shape to be, whether a heart shape, a semicircle shape, an oval shape, or if a four corner. Just depends on the shape that you want, the design that you want your back to be like, to look like. Okay. And then you draft it like so. That's just how to create that whole design for the bottom area. All right. So then you mark out you've gotten the length of our yoke already, so we will now cut out this design first. Okay. Now when you cut it out, can you see how it's looking? So I'm using where the bias is, right? So the remaining part is going to be where we'll put our button. All right, can you see? That's where we'll put our button. Then on that 7 inches, it's time for us now to mark our neck area and our shoulder area. So you draw a straight line. Can you see? Right? You draw a straight line. Then from the center back, can you see what I'm doing? You mark out your shoulder measurement. So if the shoulder of the client is 9 inches divided by 18 inches divided by 2, that is 9. Okay, so you mark it out. Now from the center back, right, you mark half an inch. That half an inch is going to serve as the part where we are going to put our buttons. Okay, now we are removing half an inch. So now we'll mark out our neck and shoulder area. Let's say 6. Okay, you mark out your neck area, that's 3 inches wide. Okay, you dip your shoulder slope. Can you see? Connect the lines to your shoulder slope, and then just mark out your shoulder area. Okay, then for your neck depth, you can dip your neck by 1 inch or by 2 inches, depends on your preference. Okay, but I advise you dip it by either 1 or 1.5 inch, because if you watch, you see that the button is like the button even got up to the neck area. So if the button is getting up to the neck area, you don't even need to dip your neck part. No, you don't need to dip your neck part, because the button is up to the neck area. So you don't need to dip the neck area, you just have to leave it like that. Okay, so this is our back yoke. So if you have any question up to this point, let me know in the comment section. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click on the notification bell and subscribe. Okay, now the same way we fix the front, that's the same way we fix the back. Okay, you cut out your yoke and then you fix it to your main fabric. Now instead of, as a designer, you have to do your work to be very neat. Okay, instead of using bias, I will advise you turn up your yoke with the same material that you're working with. If you're working with a chantilly lace, turn it up with a chantilly lace. Don't use bias. Bias doesn't make your work look neat. Okay, so, or you can use a tulle, a net, skin net, to turn up your yoke. Once your yoke is not like a chantilly lace, Okay, see, you know this material now, we call it chantilly lace. Okay, looking like a lace. Okay, once you're working with a yoke that is like this, I will always advise that you turn up your yoke, your yoke with your chantilly lace. But if you are working with Ankara hair, you can turn it up with a lining. Hope you understand. Instead of using bias. So this is how our back yoke is looking. Okay, so now to join it to your main fabric, right? You first of all join it to your main fabric like so before adding your lining. All right, so you first of all join your yoke to your corset before you add your lining. So that your lining will cover up the stitches. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So when you join it like this, then you now join the lining. All right, so we're done working with the back area. This is how it looks. Now the next thing to do is to join the shoulders. Remember I said when cutting your yoke, you don't necessarily need to shape your armhole yet. No, don't shape it yet. When you fix your yoke to your corset, to your body, the body of your dress, right, and you've joined the shoulder, yes, then you can now fix your yoke. You can now shape your armhole. All right, so I've joined the shoulders. Can you see? You can see that the yoke of the front, I did not shape the armhole of the front, so now I'm going to shape it myself. Can you see? That's why I always tell my students, it's better that your work is in excess instead of it to be in shortage. If your material is in excess, you can just easily cut it out and shape it very well. But if it is in shortage, you now start joining material and it doesn't look professional. So guys, I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. Okay, so this is how the front and the back part is going to look. So I have an online corset made easy class that's going to teach you how to make a simple corset with an already made bra cup. So if you don't know how to make a corset, this class is for you and is discounted for 3,000 naira. See you in class and bye.